How is it that you can enter the United States and go through customs? A friend of mine sails boats, and he went from Maine to Canada and back. He came from a foreign country and entered the United States by using a kiosk. He did not speak to anybody, did not talk to anybody. He went through U.S. Customs to enter the hardest country to enter in the world. And he got in on a kiosk by talking to somebody remotely and giving his passport. How is it that you can do that? But when I check into a hotel at 10 o'clock p.m., I still have to give somebody my credit card, wait 10 minutes, give somebody my ID, sit there at the counter, wait for somebody to come out from the back and check me into the hotel. How is it that 8 years ago, I had an Airbnb listed in Boston, and it was touchless enter. Here's the key. It's hidden under this rock. Plug it in the door. When you leave, do this and that. You never had to see anybody. How is it that 10 years ago, people were doing that with Airbnbs? But today, when I go to a hotel, I have to talk to somebody, and I have to spend 10 minutes at the front desk to get access to my room. That's a business opportunity. So as you guys know, I'm in the self-storage business. I started in the student storage business, and then I looked at self-storage and I said, hey, why do we still have this front desk operator on these self-storage facilities? Why is it that when I rent a self-storage unit, I have to go in and I have to talk to somebody, I have to sign a lease in person, I have to get my keys to my unit in person? Why do I have to do that? And so I built a business where you didn't have to talk to anybody. You signed the lease online. You signed up online. As soon as you paid and signed up online, you got an email with instructions to get to your unit. You got your gate code. We put the lock inside the unit. It was waiting for you. You got all that stuff right away. Why is it that a hotel, I still have to go in and meet with somebody for 10 minutes to get in? So the business opportunity is simple. Do what I did to self-storage. Get rid of that front desk operator and do automated check-in for hotels. When is a hotel operator going to do that? If I were not in the self-storage business already, what I would do is I would go to work for a hotel. I would learn the ins and outs of operating a hotel. And then I would find some people with money and I would convince them to let me buy a hotel and fully automate it. So that when somebody rents a room in the middle of the night, they get directions to get in that room and they don't have to talk to anybody. They sign up online, they sign the agreement online, they put the model of their car online, they put their credit card online, they upload a photo of their ID online. They do it all online in advance so that when they show up to my parking lot, they walk right to their room, they open their door, and they go to sleep. When is this going to take over? And some people are asking me why it hasn't already. If Nick, this is such a great idea, why hasn't it happened? Well, I know why it hasn't happened. It's because operators are old school. Most people who own hotels are 50, 60, 70 years old, and they've had the same way of doing things for their entire life. They think about hotel as a hospitality experience. Well, there's a big swath of the population, and me included, that don't want an experience at a hotel. I don't want to talk to somebody at a hotel. I don't need somebody at the hotel to give me a toothbrush if I forget it. I want to check in my room as fast as possible, and I don't want to talk to anybody. Especially if it's 9 o'clock, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm going to go straight to my room. So what I would do is I'd get some experience, I'd go in, I'd learn the business model, I'd learn how hospitality works, I'd learn the cleaning, I would buy a hotel. I'd buy a little podunk hotel in the middle of nowhere, and I would automate the check-in process. And what that would do is it would wipe off $120,000 of payroll off of the books. Because a hotel, it's not like a self-storage facility where your retail hours, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, including weekends. A hotel, you have to have a front desk staffed for check-in 24 hours a day because people come in at 2 a.m. So 24 hours times 7 days a week times 365 days a year, you're paying somebody $15 an hour. That's about $120,000. If you include, payroll tax, workers' compensation, all the fees that go along with paying somebody. So what I would do is I would build a model where you can check in a hotel without touching anything, without meeting with anybody, without going to a front desk. And what that would do is it would allow me to buy a hotel and get better returns on my investment. So when a hotel hits the market, I'm buying against people who are going to staff that hotel and spend that $120,000. I'm going to save that $120,000. I'm going to be the low cost operator. Therefore, I can see a higher return on the capital invested. It's a better deal. I can pay more. I can buy the property, get better returns. My investors get more money. I make more money. That's the whole deal. That's the way I do it in the self-storage business. I own 7 self-storage facilities right now, almost 1,000 units. Not a single one of the customers has to talk to anybody, touch anything, sign anything in person to rent a unit. They sign up online, they get all their instructions mailed to them right away. So when I'm buying a facility, when a facility goes for sale and I run it through my projections, what I do is I take it through my underwriting so that I can see how much money am I going to make on a month-to-month basis if I buy this property. And I don't have a manager. I don't have that $60,000 a year of payroll on the books, so my returns are higher. The net operating income that I can expect from that real estate asset is higher, so I can pay more. I can make more money, and I can pay more. So I'm competing with people that it's worth more to me than it is to them right off the bat. I love that part of the business, and I would grow the real estate portfolio that way. And if you follow along the Sweaty Startup, I know I talk all the time about service-based entrepreneurship, starting small, starting a small service business, but I love real estate. And we should learn something from the Airbnb management firms, the Airbnb management companies. We should take this over to hotels. I think there's a ton of money to be made in the next 10 years from somebody who figures this out. Somebody who automates a hotel check-in. They can build a nice little portfolio of 10 properties, and I'm telling you, that would create, just that right there would create generational wealth. Real estate is incredibly powerful. While a self-storage facility, is my version of this, hotels can be someone else's version of something that can be automated, returns can increase, and vast amounts of wealth can be created. Because a service business, if you are a lawn care company or a landscaping company or cleaning company and you go to sell your business, it's maybe only worth double what the profit you make on a year. In any given year, 2 to 5 times whatever you make in a year. So if you make $500,000 a year, your business is maybe worth $1 million, anywhere between $1 and $2 million. But if you have a piece of real estate that makes $1 million a year or $500,000 a year, it's worth $5 million to probably $7 million. The multiples are so much higher. Real estate is incredibly valuable. Also, there's depreciation that you can write off against your taxes every single year. When you sell a piece of real estate, it's only taxed at capital gains, which is 15%. You can exchange, you can buy a piece of real estate, depreciate it for a couple of years, sell it, make a massive gain, but then buy something else in the same category. It's called a like-kind exchange, a 1031 exchange, and you can pay absolutely no capital gains taxes on that. Another huge cheat code with real estate is the refi. You can use leverage, you can use debt to do all this for you. I made a huge amount of money in November of last year by building a self-storage facility, making it more valuable, and then getting a bank to lend on the new amount that it was worth. It was worth more money because the returns were higher because I didn't have a manager, so I was able to borrow money at that new value. We built it for $3 million. It was worth $5 million, so I could take a loan on $5 million. So I leveraged it for $4 million, pulled out $4 million of equity. It was a tax-free event, and I have $1 million sitting in the checking account now because of that. That's the power of real estate. That's why I love real estate. That's why if you're listening to this and you're a service-based entrepreneur, real estate should be in your grand scheme. I think automating hotels is a phenomenal opportunity right now. Maybe if you're a cleaning company, maybe if you run a cleaning company, you get a contract with a hotel to do all their cleaning for them, and then you feel confident enough to buy your own hotel. If you can handle the cleaning and the laundry and the changeover from customer to customer, you can really win when it comes to operating a hotel. So, just a thought. Think about it. Let me know in the comments what you think.